conditions on those platforms. So it's up to you if you wish to continue to go forward. So let's pick one of these. Let's pick Twitter over here just to sign in to one of the platforms. And it's actually Periscope. But anyways, go ahead and click on the icon, click connect, and it takes you to Periscope. And this is where you would normally sign in with your credentials. I'm not actually going to do that in this video, and I'll tell you why in a moment. But once you sign in, just go ahead and click back, click on the X here, and then there'll actually be a check mark under here at the bottom. So go ahead and sign into as many platforms as you like, and once you're all signed in, just go ahead and click back on your browser, and go ahead and click allow. Now once you've signed in, the icons that you have selected will be colored in, and the ones you chose not to sign in will still be grayed out. Now the next step is to go to RTMP, and this is where you get your RTMP address and your stream key. Go ahead and copy that and paste that into OBS and click start stream. And you don't actually go live just yet. What will happen next is your go live icon will be no longer grayed out. That'll be colored in, and you'll see a preview of your stream right here where the encoding information is. And if you like the way everything looks, you feel like you're ready to get started, go ahead and click go live. I'm just going to come back here to webcam so I can talk to you. But that's how you would do it. From RTMP, you put the information in, then you click go live. Now, what's really cool about Lula is a couple things. One is over here on the icons, once you go live, there'll actually be a number next to each icon telling you how many people are watching on each platform. So you get this as a monitoring system to actually let you know where you're getting the most traction. The other thing that's cool too is instead of having to go through page after page to see all your comments and whatever people are saying, you actually get them all combined into one chat box right over here. So this will have all the chat from all the platforms that you're streaming on in one place. And they actually put an icon of the platform next to the username, so you can see where people are commenting from, and you can keep track of all the comments on all the platforms. So it's actually pretty useful platform. It's actually pretty helpful tool. And as you see over here, I got 180 minutes of free time. They actually give you free time that you can just try it out. Now initially they only gave me 30 minutes, but as you see now I have 3 hours. And I think that might be because I didn't sign up, so they want to give me another chance to try it out. Now the problem I have with Lula was two things. One, when you are streaming with OBS and streaming with Lula, you're using double the amount of CPU than if you were just live streaming, multicasting using something like Caster or Restream. So it is extra CPU that's going to be on your system, so you have to kind of keep that in mind. And if you have a computer that's strong enough, you're not worried about that, then go for it. But the main problem that I had with Lula wasn't the platform. I thought the platform was amazing. But when I initially signed in and I only had the 30 minutes of trial time, I did that in the afternoon doing an Instagram live session. And once I ran out of time, I decided I was going to wait and just think about it and see if I really wanted to go for it or not. Later on that evening, I had a bunch of break-ins to all the platforms that I gave them access to. Somebody signed into my TikTok account with a Samsung Galaxy 7 phone, and I'm an iPhone user, so I know that wasn't me. And it showed up as a notification in my TikTok, and then I noticed somebody was trying to break into my Instagram account. They tried 3 times to get into my Instagram account before I saw what was going on and saw the notifications, and went in there and just changed my password. So I had to actually go into all the accounts I signed in with on Lula and change all my passwords on there so that they couldn't get in anymore. And it basically just made me fearful of ever wanting to use this platform again. Now I have had other friends that have used this platform that didn't have that same experience, but after me having that experience, it just made me never want to use Lula again. And it could be completely unrelated, but I just find that to be highly unlikely. The same day I signed in on those platforms was the same day that they all got broken into. So that's why I don't recommend Lula. Now, if you want to just try to see what your experience is, go ahead, but do so at your own risk. Just know I don't recommend it. So after having a bad experience like that, it just made me fearful of wanting to go back to that platform, even though it really did seem like it was going to be something amazing. That sent me back to the drawing board, and I had to find something else. I figured there had to be an alternate solution out there for me. Did a bunch of research, and eventually I stumbled across something else I ended up being really happy with. So go ahead and head back over to your web browser and let's get into this next solution. I'm going to tell you all about it right now.
Hey,
Alright, so the next thing I
I'm
want to
back.
tell you about is called Yellow Duck. So just go to your address bar on your web browser and type in yellow duck.tv and hit return. That'll take you right to the download area. You can download for Windows or you can download for Mac. Since I'm a Mac user, I'm going to download for Mac. And just go ahead and install the program the same way you would anything else. Once you have it installed, go to your applications, and all the way down at the bottom, you're going to see this icon right here. Kind of looks like a camera with a yellow eye. Go ahead and click on that, and right here you're going to log in with your Instagram credentials. And just go ahead and leave allow commenting and save video to story unless you don't want to save the video. Now just keep in mind that as soon as you do this, you're going to be live. So I'm going to go ahead and type in my information right here. So just type in your username and then your account password. Now the second I hit log in and start, I'm already live on my Instagram. So people are going to be jumping in and they're just going to see a blank screen. Just give it a little bit. It does take a moment. It's actually getting everything prepared. So you want to, as quickly as possible, copy your stream key and your RTMP address right here. Just go ahead and click the copy and paste that in your OBS and click start stream on your OBS. So right now I am actually live on my Instagram and all they're going to see is a blank page. It's not until you copy it, paste it in OBS and hit start broadcast in your OBS. At that point they'll be able to see everything that you have laid out on your OBS. Now even if you click stop stream on OBS when you're finished, you still have to come back to Yellow Duck and click save and finish. And you got to click finish again. Now this is when it actually disconnects you from your Instagram. So you might want to actually come to Yellow Duck and end your stream there before you end it on OBS. And every time you log back in to Yellow Duck, it actually gives you a different stream key. So there's a different stream key every time you log in. So don't think that you can just keep the same credentials and go live with them again next time, because it's going to give you a different stream key to get back in. Now, I've used Yellow Duck quite a few times and I haven't had any issues. The only downside is that you can only use it for Instagram, but that's the reason why we came here today, and that's the main reason why I made this video, was to share with you how to get OBS running on Instagram. With this, you can do video DJ sessions, you can create your overlay, you can just do all those extra things to make your IG live sessions look real professional. And the other thing is, every time you log in, you have to log in again. They don't save your passwords, they don't save any of your information. So I've had nothing but good experiences using Yellow Duck. It's something that I would recommend over Lula any day of the week. And I would also like to know what your experience is as well. After you try it, go ahead and let me know in the comments if you guys have had a good time with it, if you guys have had any issues with it. It'd be interesting to know. One thing I do know is sometimes people might have an issue logging in. All you actually have to do is just close it and reopen it. I guarantee you the second time you open Yellow Duck, it'll work if it doesn't work for you the first time. The next step now is I just want to give you a quick run through on how to set up your scenes in OBS when you're doing an IG live session. Alright, now before we even get started, the first thing you need to do is make sure that your audio is connected into your computer through a USB interface, as well as any additional camera sources that you want to use during your session. Next thing we need to do is create a blank slate here. So go to Scene Collection, type New, and I'm going to type IG Live. And we're also going to do a new profile. Also going to type IG Live. Return. Now first thing we do is go to Settings and head down to Video. And we're going to change the aspect ratio. We want it to be tall instead of wide. So instead of 16 by 9, we want it to be 9 by 16. So let's type 1080 by 1920. And I'm also going to change the output scaled resolution. Now you can go ahead and do your bitrate settings, your audio settings, all your settings, whatever you think is best for you. The main thing you want to focus on is just making sure that it's 9 by 16 on your canvas. And then the next thing we got to do is go to Stream, and under Service, go to Custom. Under Server, you're going to type in or copy and paste your RTMP address. right there. And then under stream key, you're going to paste your stream key right in there. Use authentication, go ahead and make sure that's checked, and then type in your username and password, and then go ahead and click OK. Now you see we have a tall canvas to work here instead of a wide one. First things first, let's add an audio source. So go ahead and click audio input capture. And if you got your USB mic input, it should show up right here. And I got one right here, the iMic USB. And click OK. So we got audio. Go ahead and lock that in. And let's go ahead and add a video capture device. You can rename it if you like. And if you have that connected with the USB input, it should show up here as well. I got a Logitech C920 connected. And it's just a little bit wider, so I'm going to just resize that. You can also press Command F, and it should resize it. Now, it'll resize it to the dimension of the screen, but I'm only really worried about how wide it is, so that's going to work. Go ahead and lock that in
Ahí
as
estoy
well.
probando para que no
It's
diga
right
que
in
no.
the center. And I want to add a DJ logo, so let me grab my DJ logo off the desktop here. And let me see if I can just drop
Hello,
it
hello,
there.
mira, desde el
Every
computer.
once in a while, you get
Entonces
something
salen
that just
acá
doesn't
las
want to drop
opciones.
in. So what you can also
Uno puede
do
poner aquí una página
is you
web
can
y
go
va
to image,
navegando.
and I'll just type in logo to rename it. Click OK or hit return.
O
And
puedes
we're gonna
ponerla más
browse,
pequeña
find it.
y mostrar por aquí una cosa y por acá otra.
And let's go to desktop, and I want my Cyberpunk logo.
A ver, esta porque no se puede cambiar
Okay,
tamaño,
and
sí se
double
puede
click,
cambiar
press
tamaño.
OK, press OK again. And let's do Command F and resize it. Now that's in the middle. I want to move it up here to the top. So right about there. And let's go ahead and lock that in. Now I want to add my music videos down here in the bottom area. And since I'm on a 2-computer streaming setup, first thing I have to do is make sure that OBS link is running. Since I'm using the Elgato
No, aquí
HD
le puedo poner los
60S.
comentarios.
If you need help getting that connected, there's a very helpful video on the Elgato YouTube channel. I recommend you guys checking that out. So in my case, I'm going to add an NDI source, but if you're on a 1-computer stream setup, you would do a siphon client and you would go to the mix emergency output window. And source name, there's only one source name. So let's go ahead and click on that one and click OK. And it's going to show up here. Do a Command F. And just drag it down. And you see we got some videos playing already. Let's go ahead and lock that in. And we're looking pretty good to go. I mean, you could add more to this if you want, but this is just a basic layout just to give you an idea of what you can do. All right, now I got one more trick up my sleeve I'd like to share with you guys. Now let's say you have a scene collection that you really like to use when you broadcast on Twitch, and you want to use that same setup to broadcast with on Instagram. First thing you want to do is make sure you have that scene collection selected, and then we're going to make a duplicate. This way we know we're not going to mess up the original if we move anything around. So let's label this duplicate. Click OK. All right, so now we're on the duplicate scene, and come down here to sources, press Command A, do a 2-finger click on your control pad, and we don't see group anywhere to be found on here. The reason why is because 2 items that we've highlighted are already in groups. So we're gonna have to take everything that's in the group and take it out.
Probando,
Kind of a
probando.
painstaking process, but we'll get through it. Go ahead and delete the group. And we're going to go ahead and do the same thing for the other group. And make sure, even though the folder's empty, that you delete the group. Now we got everything right here. Go ahead and back down to sources, press Command A, do a 2-finger click or a right
Que
click.
te permite el software poner mira, puedes poner acá el
Here's.
navegador y puedes poner todo lo que
So
quieras
we don't
aquí.
even need to name the group. Just go ahead and minimize it. Now everything
vas
that's in this
navegando aquí en la
entire collection
página.
is in this one group.
Puedes poner fotos, puedes poner la cámara, puedes poner todo lo que
And then
quieras.
we're going to go to
Está
profile.
bueno.
We're going to go back to IG Live, and this is what
Estoy
it's going to
probando
look
para ver
like
si
in
me
here.
lo hago en la
So what you want to do
iglesia.
now is unlock it, do a right click, and we're going to
Entonces así no solo sale por YouTube, sino por
90
Instagram también.
degrees counterclockwise.
como están las dos cámaras, entonces se
And
puede
let's go
hacer
ahead
como uno
and
quiere.
stretch it to where it fits all the way down here at the bottom first, and then we're gonna just slide it over to the left. And it looks like it's a little bit too big, so just make sure you
Bueno,
resize it
mucha
good.
prueba ya. Hello, hello.
And there you go. Let's go ahead and lock that in. Now you have your full-on Twitch overlay working on your Instagram, and all people have to do is turn their phone sideways. The only weird thing about it is just that the comments are going to come in at a side angle. They're going to come from left to right instead of scrolling from the bottom. The comments are basically still going to come the same direction that they normally would on your phone. But this is a way that you can have the full-on Twitch overlays working on your Instagram Live. So you can either make a tall view or you can make a wide view